Hey Pisces, we are going to be doing a reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Pisces. All right, Pisces, let's see. Sorry your reading took forever to get out. Sorry about that. All right, Pisces. All right, I guess we're starting here, Pisces. So, all right. It's pretty nice. So, all right, let's see what's going on. We're going to get like just 3 random oracle cards. I don't have a placement for them, so we're just going to see like kind of how they work into your reading. So, all right, let's see. All right, so, okay, I already feel like Pisces, you are really tapped in, or there's something that you understand symbolism or something like that. You might be, this is not gonna be for everybody, but there might be something about like letters or I don't know, numbers, something like that, that you just like resonate with, or I don't know. I think you interpret things in a way that is like a lot deeper than other people would. Okay. I feel like you get more information out of something than somebody else would. Okay. I don't know. So, all right, so let's look at your cards and see what's going on. So, all right, you guys have Unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So that's awesome. Okay. So yes, intuition. Excellent. So use your intuition to make beneficial changes. All right. And then you have Ring. A marriage will take place, either romantic or business. All right, Pisces. So far, this feels awesome. So then you have Diamond. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. All right. Your oracle cards are friggin' amazing. So let's see what's going on here. You guys have the 10 of Pentacles. This is for your current energy here. Another like awesome card. Okay, so there might be something here that you're possibly focusing on, maybe something business related, or there's something that you're just maybe feeling like, you know what, I'm in a position where I'm able to kind of do, I want to say almost do whatever you want, or there's a certain level of being like really comfortable in something here, that kind of stuff. I also understand a family something, okay, something in your family. I understand this as this ring, okay, with this 10 of Pentacles, possibly like something that you have, somebody's passing down something to you, or you're passing down something to somebody else, okay, that kind of thing. I'm actually very much getting this as a ring. Doesn't have to be a ring, but I am understanding something like that. You know what I'm also getting? You know when like, I don't know if this is like when you graduate, when you're like going from like, I don't know, like getting your doctorate or something like that. I feel like there's something where people give you like a pen or a pencil, something like that. I'm almost understanding that as somebody like giving you like a pen or something like that, and being like you're this, it's like that's how we're agreeing on this deal, or I don't know, something like that. So interesting. All right, so you have the 7 of Cups, and this is showing up in your environment. So here's the thing. If you're in this position of possibly being like, dude, I have a lot of money, or I have finances, like whatever the heck it is, that kind of thing, then I wonder if there's maybe a situation around you where you're like almost spoiled for choice here, almost being like, yeah, well, I can kind of do whatever I want, but what is it that I want to do? So possibly there's something that maybe you're like, is this attainable? Can I that might be it. You might even be kind of like thinking about something in a financial aspect and being like, okay, is this attainable for what I currently have? Or, you know, something like that. I will also say for some of you guys, possibly this has something to do with investments, that kind of stuff. And maybe there's like particular options or something regarding that you're maybe kind of considering or putting money into, investing, something about that. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right, I got to tell you another thing here. You know, we started out your reading, I was saying something about like numbers and letters, that kind of stuff. I got to tell you, maybe that's part of whatever this unicorn thing is here, you know, is kind of like use your intuition to make beneficial changes. I almost understand that beneficial as being like in benefit for somebody else, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. I will even say, you know, some of these, like whatever these changes are, that kind of stuff, maybe it's that it's something that it's like, okay, I kind of, you know, maybe I'll make this change, but then what's going to happen of that, or what's going to be the result of this, you know, that kind of stuff. That might be also something that you're kind of like wondering, you know. All right, so let's see. You have the 3 of Wands, and this is showing up for the possible challenge here. I feel like this is just having to wait for something. Okay, maybe there's something that you're having to like literally wait for correspondence or response or something about that. Okay, I also understand something possibly being shipped overseas. Okay, shipped overseas or something about that. Okay, that kind of stuff. What I will also say is I feel like there is something that you're like, anticipating something, but I wonder if you're like, okay, I've been waiting here for so long, should I like make moves on this, or like what, like that kind of stuff. Okay, I also feel like there is maybe a challenge in needing to wait for particular results. Okay, waiting to see what is coming back of something, maybe before moving ahead on something else. Okay, that might be part of whatever this is. So all right, let's see, you have the Four of Swords, and this is showing up for your possible opportunity. I feel like you have the opportunity to possibly like maybe either be quiet with yourself or take a rest on something. Okay, that kind of stuff. I will also say this could be that your opportunity is maybe to maybe, I got to tell you, this could even be meditating to land on the answer that you want, or you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff. Certainly could be. Maybe there's even something here where it's like, dude, I need to ask for a particular blessing, or it's like crossing your fingers, something like that kind of stuff. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna get more oracle cards out for you guys, and then we are going to get more tarot cards, and then we will clarify. All right, Pisces. So all right, let's see what's up. You know what I'm getting, Pisces? That a particular vision or something that like the way that you like intuitively saw something, or the way that you visualize something, I understand that that is actually like attainable. That is attainable. So whatever that is there, it is attainable. Absolutely. Okay. And that's like part of your opportunity. Yeah. So let's see what's up. Pisces. All right. Maybe there's something about your family here too, okay? There certainly could be. The Ace of Cups just came out whenever I said that, so that might be true for some of you guys here. So, all right, let's see what's up. Oh, Pisces. Okay, so, all right. So for your challenge, you guys have adaptability showing up for your challenge. So, all right, I kind of feel like that's a whole like having to make changes, that kind of stuff. Okay, certainly could be an adaptation. I also understand this as literally getting something. I do think that this is like, again, an heirloom or something that was passed down from your family, something about that kind of stuff. Okay, and I feel like this is maybe making changes to that. Like, you know, when somebody is like, oh, I'm going to wear like my grandma's or my mom's, whatever it is, wedding dress. And they're like, yeah, but I want it, like, I want to bring it to a seamstress so that they can, I don't know, update it or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. I'm almost understanding something like that, okay? It's like adapting something, you know, that, I don't know, something regarding that. You have it with the Three of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Again, this is showing up for your possible challenge. So, all right, maybe there's something that you are like literally waiting for so that you can actually make changes to it. Being like, I need to alter this, I have to change this, that kind of stuff. Certainly could be. I also wonder if there's something here that you're like, I need this to play many parts, or I need this to like kind of, to be adaptable in some sense, okay? It's like whether this is being adaptable, like we're saying, being adaptable in the sense of like, this person can do this and so can this, like even in the playing field, that kind of stuff. I understand that. And I also understand if there's something here where it's like, it's almost like you know too much. Like it's almost like you either know too much or you're feeling like you don't know enough about something, okay? Like you need more information or something about that, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling here. I do feel like there is maybe a challenge in maybe having your emotions tied into something that either is kind of coming your way or that you've waited for, you know, that kind of stuff. Definitely understanding anticipation in some sense. And I also feel like there is something here about like whatever is coming like towards you, like it just feels like you're like, yes, but I want to like make some like alterations. I want to tweak that a little bit or something like that, you know, that kind of thing. Maybe this has something to do with like, again, like an anniversary or something loving or whatever it is. Or again, maybe working with business, a family business. I understand all of that, okay? That kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. You have the Nine of Swords, and this is showing up as what you're not able to control. I feel like this is a stress level, something that maybe just needs to be reworked on, that kind of stuff. Maybe this is like, dude, I've done this thing a bunch of times, that kind of stuff. What I can also say with this adaptability card and the Nine of Swords, it could be that there's just like a feeling of maybe having like a million different thoughts in your head, a million different ideas, that kind of stuff. And maybe kind of like needing to like focus that, all right? Kind of focusing that in some capacity, that kind of stuff, all right? Especially that Seven of Cups. Like, again, it could be that there's like so many different options, or that it's like, we need to land on something. We need to like really make a decision, that kind of stuff, and like kind of see what comes of that, you know, that kind of thing. So, all right, you have the Ace of Swords. This is showing up reversed, and it's showing up as for what you can control. So yes, there might be something here where maybe this is going silent, okay? There could be something where it's like, hey, this is actually maybe a surprise, or this is something that it's like, it's not ready to be revealed yet, or whatever it is. So maybe it's like, hey, we're going to kind of like keep that thing to ourselves. I also understand maybe telling maybe a lie. Maybe there's something here what you can control is maybe, again, like something that is like not true. I wonder if this is you maybe being like, you know what, I'm changing things so that things are more accurate, or I'm changing something so that like the correct information is now like, I want to say broadcast, like that kind of thing. This is really, this is interesting. All right, so let's see. I also understand like you can control like the flow of information, or something about that, okay? What I'll also say is there maybe is something here that you can control in the way of like calming down your thoughts, calming down like, you know, something here. Even if it's like you have like a friggin' like ton of ideas or whatever it is, it's like there's a way to kind of organize that, or, you know, whatever it is here, so that it's not feeling so friggin' overwhelming, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, so let's see. You have the Three of Swords, and this is showing up as like the next steps to take. So there is something about kind of like coming apart with something here, that kind of stuff, okay? Maybe this is coming apart with something that you're like, God, this has been in my family for forever, or whatever it is, and now maybe there's like a little bit of like grief kind of passing that on, you know, that kind of stuff. What I will also say is I really am getting this in the terms of separating something, that kind of stuff, so that something else can be rebuilt. And I really am getting that like energy of like a wedding dress, or of course, you know, you have this ring, and you have ring and diamond. I mean, this feels like an actual like marriage, or it's like a merger of like some like major corporation, company, or business, or, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, okay? That kind of stuff. I also understand somebody moving their business, okay? It's like we're moving our location, but we can't do that until we get clearance, or until somebody responds in a certain way. I don't know, something regarding that, okay? That kind of stuff. Okay, so let's see. You have the you have manipulation, and this is actually showing up for your opportunity. So there is okay, interesting. So I feel like there is a way to kind of, I don't want to say like convince, but like I also kind of do. I feel like there is some opportunity here to like maybe get other people on board, you know? Maybe this Seven of Cups, maybe this is other people being like, yeah, but I want to go with this idea, or like I don't think that thing could really happen, okay? That kind of stuff. I will also tell you, this might be an individual who is just friggin' confused about something, okay? Is like maybe like it almost feels like it's like, okay, I understand it, and then it's like they hit another roadblock, or they're like, okay, I was so close to figuring this out, and now I'm like, wait, what the heck? Or that there's like a certain understanding, but it's like, what does that mean? What does that really mean? Like, is there something else beneath that? That kind of stuff. So again, with this manipulation energy, I really do think that you have some opportunity here to either get information or to clarify something in maybe a spiritual sense. Maybe again, this is like kind of going into like a little Zen zone, that kind of stuff, or like having like some Hail Mary moment where things just kind of work out, that kind of thing. So, all right, Four of Swords, you have it with the reverse Eight of Wands. There is definitely something here about either keeping something to yourself, or getting information and being like, I'm not going to share this with anybody, you know, something about that, okay? There is certainly something regarding that. I'll tell you another thing. I wonder if there is something here where you are actually blocked from certain information, or you have the opportunity to block somebody else from particular information or access to something here, that kind of stuff, okay? That could certainly be part of whatever it is, that kind of thing showing up for your opportunity. So you have the Queen of Wands, and this is showing up as like your skills. That's okay. This is almost too perfect here, Pisces. So manipulation with the Queen of Wands, it's like you have like the personality, or like, you know, when they say like, well, I don't really know what they say, but it's something about like somebody who can like you could sell somebody sand in a desert, like that kind of stuff. Like that's almost what I'm getting, is like there's something about you that you're just like, you have like a certain charm or charisma, or whatever the heck it is, a personality, or the way you kind of like enter into a room is like you're already like influential in some sense, you know, that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's kind of nice, okay? Actually, I feel like that's really nice. So all right, okay, so you have the Six of Swords, and sorry, I also think that like you have the skills of like, I almost want to say like cheering other people on, or it's like your personality or your presence is like makes people feel supported or something about that, okay? That kind of stuff. Maybe that's what this 10 of Pentacles is also kind of representing, is just like an energy of like being supported, you know, that kind of stuff, all right? A sense of stability. So, all right, you have the 6 of Swords, and this is showing up as the possible help. So I wonder if there's somebody to help you kind of like move things along, or to have something. First of all, I'm getting that like shipping reference again, okay? Something about that. So I do understand. I got to tell you, Pisces, sometimes this happens to me where the readings become so like financially based that I'm like, what am I talking about? But like, I don't know, Pisces. Sometimes that really happens, and I feel like that is happening in your reading, or this is like really, really centered on like a family situation, a work environment, something like that, okay? Or again, like two things that are like merging together as one, you know, whether this is romantic or like the card here says, romantic, or like a business type of venture, that kind of stuff, okay? So maybe there's even somebody who is almost like a venture capitalist, or like, I don't know, something like that that can help you in some sense. I also understand that this meditation energy with this 4 of Swords, I wonder if it's like maybe kind of like being quiet and thinking about something, maybe meditating over something, that kind of stuff. I wonder if there's just help in that way, you know what I'm saying? Like that there might be something to kind of like release along the way there, that kind of stuff, just by being in that energy. Or this is somebody who can kind of show you something. Here's the thing, you might be somebody who like figures out something by just kind of like jumping into it, figuring it out, that kind of stuff. That is me all day, like that kind of stuff. But I also sometimes, like, if somebody just shows me something once, I'm like, yep, I can do it. Then that might be part of whatever this is. Maybe there's somebody here who's like, listen, I can show you how to do this, or like you can kind of like start figuring it out, and then maybe it's like, if you need help, you can like ask somebody who's maybe like already done that, or like having like a certain I mean, I want to say gondola so bad with this. I don't know why or how or why that would be in your reading, but I really want to say that, okay? So gondola, now we've said it, now I feel better and we can move on. But okay, something like that. Maybe this is somebody who's like steering the boat for you, or, you know, whatever the heck it is, or is like touring you around. I don't know, something like that. So, all right. All right. Okay. I also want to say somebody can help you get something off the ground. I don't know. So you have the 8 of Cups, and this is showing up as like your next steps to take. So there is definitely something about departing from something, launching off of something, that kind of stuff. Okay. Maybe even walking away from something that was not a good fit, or walking away from something that you're like, you know what, I could actually find something even better, or something that is like, I almost want to say more valuable, okay, that kind of stuff. I'm sure that offended somebody, but I don't know. That's what popped in my head, okay, something like that. So all right, let's see what else we can get for you guys here. Pisces. All right. Well, there is something here about really like not friggin' settling. Whoa, that was wild. Not settling for something. King of Swords just came flying out of the deck. Did you guys see that? That was kind of interesting. Okay. All right. All right, let's see what's up. Somebody really likes numbers here. I swear to God, okay? There's something like that. Ace of Wands. Somebody really, really likes numbers. So, okay, let's see. You guys have the 9 of Swords, and you have it with the 3 of Swords again. Again, this is showing up for what you're not able to control. Okay, this to me at this point feels like broken sleep, because something like will not settle down, or there's something that is just so up in the air and not settled, that kind of stuff, that it's like causing some type of grief or heartbreak or separation, that kind of stuff, okay? Definitely understanding something regarding that. It's like something needs to be kind of like pushed along more, or finalized in some sense, that kind of stuff. So speaking of finalization, showing up for what you are able to control here, you guys have the Ace of Swords with the 10 of Swords upright. So I feel like this is something that you're able to control, in the sense of, just like we were saying, like the information that you're allowing, I guess, other people to kind of know about, whether, I want to say this is like confidential, or something that is just like very much like your inner circle's meant to know about this. That King of Swords came flying out, and I know that I named Libra's reading something about like focus on your inner circle, or something like that. All right. So there might be maybe the Libra reading is a good one for you guys to like take a look at. Okay. That kind of stuff. But I also feel like this is like maybe not even speaking on something before something is absolutely 100% solid, done, finalized, that kind of stuff. Okay. 9 of Swords moving to the 10 of Swords. There's something about that. Okay. All right. I mean, like, I got to tell you, it's so much Swords energy here. Okay. It makes sense. Like with this adaptability card, like a lot of like things thinking and like trying to figure stuff out, and like maybe that organization piece, or trying to remember something, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right. For your next steps, you guys have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is disconnecting to one thing, possibly to have a victory in another endeavor here, that kind of stuff. And I also understand this as the next steps is when there is some type of separation, or when something is kind of like, yeah, separated in some sense, that kind of stuff. That's when I feel like it's like, okay, now, like once you figure that out, it's like there's the breakthrough, or now we can start like talking about something more openly, something about that. There needs to be something that's like finalized first, okay, that kind of stuff. Maybe this is even like going through like maybe a heartbreak process, or forgiving other people, or you know, whatever the heck it is there, that kind of stuff. I feel like there maybe was a communication, or this is just, again, a hard time to keep something like organized and like kind of like have that like information flow, you know, flowing, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. Okay, so let's see. You guys have the Queen of Wands, and then you have it with the Queen of Swords, and this is showing up for your skills. So, all right, damn. All right, so Pisces, again, there is something here that I do think you're like highly influential, okay? I absolutely understand that. Again, I also think there's something that you are maybe just naturally good at cheering other people on, that kind of stuff. I can also say your intuition is awesome, okay? And this is what I mean by that. I mean that the way that you go about your day, or the things that you do, or the places you go, or the things that you say, they hit people in an intuitive way that maybe are even like divine timing, like that kind of situation. That's what I'm understanding, you know. I definitely understand that, and I really am telling you, it's like you could like convince somebody of like anything here, okay? That kind of stuff. I also think there's something that you're like, I know, like that looks good and I want that thing, or you know, something like that. There's like a sense of for some of you guys, there's a sense of, you guys maybe some of you guys just came out of a relationship, okay, that kind of stuff. And maybe it's like your skills are that you're friggin' single, and like you have like you're ready to like go out and, you know, do whatever you're doing, that kind of stuff, okay? That could also be something that's just like, listen, that's your skills to kind of like, you know, have something, either having like information kind of come to you in like a very interesting way, or there's something here that's like, maybe you're thinking like, okay, this is kind of manipulative, but like, I don't think so. I think you're just using like the skills that you have, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, Six of Swords, you guys have the Two of Pentacles here. Again, this is showing up for like the help that could, is available to you. So I think that this is just that, I think that you have the help of having somebody who has dabbled in this before, or who is really, really good at dealing with one thing, going to another thing. It's like, I can bounce here, I can bounce here. I see this as somebody who has like two different offices, or two different something or others that they can like bounce in between from, that kind of stuff. And somehow that is showing up as like a help that is beneficial to you, all right, that kind of thing. I also think this is maybe somebody who can balance something out once something is like, okay, it's shipped off, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff. So for some of you guys, again, I am getting like very much like overseas shipping or something like that, okay? I know that's like very specific and not going to be for everybody, but like metaphorically speaking, there's something like that, okay? And really using your intuition with like where it is that you want to go, or how you're releasing a particular thing, or how you want to like depart from something, launch off of something, that kind of stuff. It's like there's somebody here who can balance something out to make something like more like smooth sailing, that kind of stuff. All right, so okay, you have the Eight of Cups, and you have it with the Hanged Man here. These are both Pisces cards, and they're both showing up for your next step. So yes, it's like moving on from something that you feel like this is not a fit anymore, that kind of, maybe, you know, we keep saying like not a fit, that kind of stuff. Again, I'm still getting that like wedding gown or something like that, but like repurposing it, or repurposing jewelry or something like that that was like passed down to you, okay? Or, you know, or something, or that was extremely expensive, or I don't know, something like that has like history attached to it, you know, that kind of thing. So I feel like it's like, you know, moving away from whatever the heck it is. It's like, if this does not fit anymore, it's okay to like kind of move away from something, that kind of stuff. And then with the Hanged Man, it's like possibly being able to see somebody, like the perspective that somebody else is kind of offering you here. Or again, this could be you guys moving away from something, and then I wonder if it's like the second you move away from something, that like somebody else is like, oh wait, hold on, come back, like I'm not done, or something like that, okay? That might be part of whatever it is, but I really feel like this is just seeing something from like a totally different vantage point, that kind of stuff, okay? I also understand possibly even taking like a break, okay? Giving yourself like a break from something, maybe from like freaking moving around all the time, or really trying to like really focus on like family or business or finances, that kind of stuff, okay? I do understand that. All right, so that's what I have for you guys, Pisces. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements, and I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.